We are not against people wearing masks. If people feel comfortable, they can wear it. But what we are against is mandatory masks.
Freedom is defined as the ability to engage in actions that don't harm someone or their property. So under that definition of freedom, we think that masks are infringing on our freedom because on one hand, there is no gold standard scientific evidence in the form of well-controlled randomized trials which show us that masks conclusively protect us against viral respiratory illnesses and specifically COVID-19. And on the other hand, we have case reports of people getting health issues because of prolonged mask use.
You cannot mandate something, to everybody. If somebody has a health issue, nobody's talking about this. Everybody's talking about just wearing a mask, blatantly following it. So many people have health issues. So you cannot just harm someone, for the safety of somebody else.
So here is one from the Annals of Internal Medicine. It's by Chow, Roger et al., which is done in 2020. And the conclusion basically says, randomized trials in community settings found possibly no difference between N95 versus surgical mask and probably no difference between surgical versus no mask in risk for influenza or influenza-like illness.
In light of evolving evidence, WHO advises that governments should encourage the general public to wear masks where there is widespread transmission and physical distancing is difficult.
The doctor of the WHO, her name is Dr. Maria Karkov, and she's the one. You can play the video later on. We have the video. And she clearly states that the transfer of asymptomatic carrier from one patient to the other is extremely rare.
There are some estimates that suggest that anywhere between 6% of the population and 41% of the population may be infected but not have symptoms, within a point estimate of around 16%. I don't want to get too technical, but that we do know that some people who are asymptomatic or some people who don't have symptoms can transmit the virus on.
We've lived with things like TB and flu our whole lives, and they spread the same way. So I don't get it because if you look at the stats, over 1,200 people die of TB every day in India. Over 440,000 people die of TB every year in India, and this is despite a vaccine. Over 120,000 people succumb to the flu every year in India. And there have never been any mandates.